I don't know about you, but it has been a very bad past 24 hours for me. I'm surprised I'm still live streaming, but doing work has been very distracting and very good for my mental health. So, um, I am KibbyRose. I am good afternoon, to so on that note, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all my witches, warlocks, riders, and wanderers. Today is March 28th. It is a Friday. I am KibbyRose, Authortubes, lesbian psychic stoner. I'm here to fill your day. Well, usually I fill your day with some witchy things, horoscopes, rants, and everything else. I'm going to actually be ranting about the last 24 hours of my day because it has been insane. But let me roll the opener and we'll get on with it because we're going to have somewhat of a structure on this one, I swear. So first of all, I'm turning that off because I'm going to explain a little bit first as to why my mood is a little bit different. I was up until 3:30 in the morning stressing out because my 98-year-old grandfather was taken to the hospital last night. I was also having heart flutters and other issues going on with me. We're going to discuss a little bit about what I believe influenced all that. But on top of all that, my great aunt, Mary Jo, passed away literally 45 minutes before the stream started. So there's a part of me that wanted to cancel the stream, but I think it would be better for me to, because my Aunt Mary Jo is a very stubborn individual, and she would have been the type that would have been like, no, you do your stream, you go and do your thing. So in honor of her, I'm going to do my stream and try to push through and not cry. So I've had a very, very rough past 24 hours. So first of all, please forgive my energy and my mood because it's we're pushing through some emotions here, but I'm being mindful. I'm radically accepting the things that I can't handle. I'm self-distracting in healthy ways by getting work done. So first of all, I want to say thank you to my replay crew and to all of my new subscribers. I really do appreciate, especially on the 24 hours that I've had, looking at my analytics. It brought a little bit of joy and stability to my life, and it felt really nice. So I just want to say thank you for that. And let me give you a little rundown of what we do around here before I go into deep detail about everything that happened. First of all, I do personal rants for the opener, and then we do a 10-minute sprint. Then after that, we do current events, and then which is like a kind of whatever solar activity, energy activity, everything else that's going on. And then we do it. And then if I have any at the time, we do discussions about signs and everything else. And then we do a 20-minute sprint. Then after that, I do the planetary influences. And if I have any card readings, which because my energy is so off today, I will not be doing any psychic readings today. And then we do a 20-minute sprint. And then after that, I do have horoscopes. Surprisingly, I do have horoscopes. Meditating on horoscopes last night while my mom and my grandfather were in the hospital was out. One thing that really did help me, I ended up getting a lot of work done from that video that I've been complaining about that's been sitting in my bay for the last week, to some new songs, to just some research and study, to getting meditation, like the horse. It was just, so I was up until 3:30 in the morning. But on that note, just a reminder that I got some announcements for y'all. New videos uploaded, the St. Patrick's Day celebration with Drunk Kibby and Irish Jack. The Book of Shadows in progress video, which is the fast speed run through of just kind of watching me do my art. And then the newest one that will be launching tomorrow, we have the premiere at 12:30. That is actually me going page by page, reviewing everything in the book. And first of all, for my clients that are going to be watching that, let me know what you like and don't like about the video. I'm willing to tweak it. I'm trying to figure out how to get a better camera angle so that you can see the stuff a little bit better. Bear with me. I'm working with what I got. I just had to replace my computer. So, you know, I try to make things work as best I can, but the tripod I have does not allow me for like a complete down on the table view. I figured out a camera angle on my new computer that does a table view. We're going to work with it, see how that works. But again, just let me, it was one of those things that I filmed a while ago. I finally got to editing it. It's finally going to be premiered tomorrow. So I'm up for constructive criticism on it. I know it's not the like most elite of quality, but you know, guys, work with me here. You know, I didn't do this full time. I worked in the office full time for 20 years. So YouTubing is still fairly new to me. The next thing that I have is if Cora, who just popped in now. Hello, Miss Cora. Hey, I will be in and out because of dinner and bedtime. Yep. Which is the usual because of this time for you. But some good news, not today, because we're not doing it today, but I'm hoping that April 4th-ish, we can launch what we're going, Cora and I, because our schedules have been so crazy, because she's got 3 young ones that are just going to get busier for her, we realized that maybe adding the law tea onto the end of the Friday night stream, so it would be like if we were doing it tonight, there would be after this stream, after we do horoscopes, Cora would be jumping in and announcing the law stuff that we'd be doing. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's what I'm hoping for, is that we'll start having a drunken tea night with law discussions and maybe some psychic predictions in regards to law on Friday nights. And then in April, I'm going to do a free week of readings for April 31st through May 4th for the Beltane celebration. And then in May, we're doing a Cinco de Mayo rebirths party stream with Drunken Kibby again. And then in June, we are doing another free week of readings from June 16th to June 20th. I also was able to, because of the client, I was able to invest a little bit back into my YouTube. Thank you, Danielle, because yeah, I appreciate her. She knows what she did, and I appreciate her. So just so you guys know, I've decided to kind of start building up my wardrobe again, because I realized also that the one thing that I kind of negated in building up since I rebuilt my life, if you guys have followed me long enough, you've watched me along my way as I moved literally from Virginia, or from Tennessee to Virginia, with 2 suitcases and a backpack, and rebuilt my life. The wardrobe was one thing that kind of lacked. So we might have a monthly subscription coming that has to do with clothing. I already have we'll see what happens. I have a surprise already on its way. It is a company that I believed in long ago. I stopped doing them because of ethnic and well, there was a couple reasons why I stopped doing them. Evidently, they combined with several other companies that were other companies that I liked, and now we're going to see what happens. So this is one of those things where we'll have to see what happens in the next coming months. Because I might have some really big, like not really big surprises, but some more, like along with the WitchCasket unboxings, we might have some other WitchCasket unboxings. So, by the way, I might have a solution to your problem. Oh, very nice. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Thank you so much, Cora. I appreciate it. I also have an idea for latte. I'll have to tell you later. Okay, we will talk. We will talk. So, one thing I wanted to get into for you guys is, as you can tell, my mood is a little bit different. It's dropped. Even now that we're done with announcements. So how do I start this? Okay, so yesterday, as I did the readings on Wednesday, I knew coming up on Thursday that I kind of needed to keep an eye out for things because the solar eclipse and with the coronal hole that was turning towards us with the plasma eruptions that were happening and occurring, I knew there was something going to be off. So when I woke up yesterday morning with heart flutters, I and feeling just kind of off, I was like, okay, definitely the plasma wave hit. Definitely the Schumann resonance has been messed with. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend this gentleman's channel. This video, especially the Sponics Bones with Insane Plasma Outbursts as glosmal seismic burst begins. This Stefan Barnes is somebody that I always, when I start feeling funny or my energies feel out of whack, his channel is the first channel I go to because it always seems that he is on top of it when it comes to that kind of activity. And I can almost correlate exactly my weird changes and effects with either a solar mass eruption or a plasma charge or the Schumann resonance changing in the earth. Like there's, and it's kind of funny because of his channel, I've actually been able to identify, because I'm so sensitive, I've been able to identify the shifts in myself along with what has been going on with the planet. On that note, I found it interesting because we had as you see, we had an insane burst yesterday. Okay. And this was one of those things that I knew it was going to affect a lot of things on this planet. All of us, Stefan Barnes predicted it. Anybody who's a psychic predicted it. We all knew there was something that was going to affect the planet on a whole. Well, not only did the Schumann resonance go nuts yesterday, but we ended up, Thailand ended up having one of the biggest earthquakes in history, a 7.7 massive earthquakes, buildings collapsed. It's an apocalypse over there right now. And on top of that, my grandfather yesterday, around 3:00, I remember I was just kind of starting. I usually start my day about 12:00. I start working around 12:00. My mom was out grocery shopping. I had this weird feeling about my grandpa. So I went upstairs and I checked on him and he seemed fine. Came back downstairs. My mom comes home. I get a text message that she was about to start dinner. And then all of a sudden I get this text message that grandpa doesn't feel well. She's like, I'm going to call the nurse and, because he doesn't feel well. So long story short, they ended up taking him to urgent care, taking him to ER. My poor mom was sitting at the ER from, I think it was 3:00 to 8:00. And I remember sitting here stressing about, grandpa and text messages and, knowing that I want to hear something, but I can't hear anything because they're probably just sitting there. And then it dawned on me. I was like, I bet you my mom's starving. She hasn't eaten dinner. She was making dinner. And my mom's one of those people. She's an old fashioned lady. She eats every 2 or 3 hours. And so I texted her and yeah, I ended up in the middle of the night at 9 o'clock at night. I remember thinking to myself, this is very interesting because there's nobody in Spokane, Washington at 9:00 at night. It's like, it's deserted. Okay. There's nobody out especially on a Wednesday or a Thursday night. And I remember driving on the freeway and I was doing about 58 actually. And I was thinking to myself, oh, slow down. You might be going a little fast. And I was like, no, I'm doing 58. It's just deserted out here. And I'm so used to judging my flow of my speed by flow of traffic. And right at that moment, I pass a cop and I'm like, now, wouldn't it just be the kind of night where I get pulled over? Luckily, I didn't. Not Murphy's Law didn't kick in completely, but it was one of those moments where I was just like, it has been that kind of day where like just little things. Like I would go to reach for a pen and it would be like, I'd have to grab for it 3 times in order to grab it. You know, it was that kind of frustrating energies. And I warned about it. I did warn everybody about it, but it's the solar eclipse was messing everybody up. Well, we get home, or I get home. I take my mom. First of all, I think she was surprised because I loved making lunches until someone abused the privilege. And so I made her a sandwich. I cut up, I had what did I have? I had like wheat thins. I had a bunch of her little snacks. And then I had tomatoes. I had a cut up apple. I had the nuts, and I added I included a little bag of like non-salted nuts for my grandpa, just in case, because he hadn't eaten either. And that was one thing I really appreciated of my ex, is that, like, sometimes there was hospital stays because they didn't know what my Crohn's was at the time. And he would sneak me like a cracker and be like, that cracker's not going to kill you. So, and then I get home, and I think the funniest part of the night was when I got home from dropping off her food. The first thing I did was like, oh, back to work. So I made myself a cup of coffee at 9:30 at night and was just like, I'm going to be up for a while, back to work. I got work to do. I might as well do it. I'm not going to be able to sleep anyway, because I'm just going to be worrying about whether or not everything's okay. And as soon as I sit down with a fresh cup of coffee to work at my desk, I did get the text from my mom that says, "Thank you, honey. Good night. I love you. I won't text you again unless it's an emergency." And I responded, "Haha, you're so funny. I just made myself a cup of coffee. You really think I can sleep right now?" And it was 3:30 until they got home. It was actually 3:30 in the morning, or around 3:30, 2:30. I guess it was more 2:30, because I remember going to bed at 3:30. So it was like more like 2:30ish that they got home. And get them all settled. And then I come down to my room, and all of a sudden I hear this loud rattling noise coming from the wall in my room. And this wall just happens to be the same wall that the electrical panel for the house is on. And I'm like, no. I put my hand up on that wall and I was like, the wall is vibrating. What the hell? This is not good. Anything causing a rumble or a shake with electricity, bad sign. I know this from dating an electrician for 11 years. That is a bad sign when that is happening, especially near an electrical panel. So I'm like, what? So immediately, my first thought is to go upstairs. So I go upstairs and I can still hear it. And I'm looking around all upstairs, trying to figure out, where is it? Where's the noise coming from? To the point that my mom and I even get to the point where we round the house together. I go this way out the front door. She goes the back door. Can't find anything outside. Nothing rattling. Nothing making noise outside. And we're like, okay, if the panel was doing something, the meter would definitely be doing something. Nothing. Come back downstairs, trying to figure it out, thinking we're just going to have to, oh no, wait, that's right. It stopped for a minute. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, Mom, oh, I don't hear it anymore. It's great. It stopped. Then as we're filling because, one thing leads to another, I figured out last night that my mom definitely has a give a mouse a cookie mentality as well. I must have gotten it from her, because all of a sudden she's deciding to add salt to the water softener. And I'm like, okay. And as we're adding salt to the water softener, the rumbling starts again. And we're just like, and I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I'm not going to be able to sleep in here at all. Second of all, we're going to have to call the electrician tomorrow. And I was just like, this is not going to be good. We already had to pay like $500 to replace because our basement flooded. Then we had to pay another $700 to get our faucet fixed. Then, then we just paid whatever money for grandpa to go to the hospital. Now we're dealing with whatever is going on with the piano. So I go to move my nightstand to maybe try to get an idea of what is, like to see if the vibration is going down the wall or whatever. Well, I realize my nightstand is vibrating. I'm going to let all you female and maybe male adults just go ahead and laugh, because it is exactly what you think it is. Somehow, some way, that thing decided to get a mind of its own last night. And we literally ended up putting it in the back room and let it shake itself to oblivion. And I was just like, I was just like, I wasn't even embarrassed. There was a part of me was like, oh, thank God, it's not going to cost us anything with the electrical. Oh my God, like we're being attacked. I have no idea what's going on. Oh my God. But is it, guys, it was, yeah. So I'm just going to let you all giggle and laugh for a minute as I set this up, because we are going to do sprints today. So after that, I go to bed and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely, I even took, like, my brain was going 100 miles an hour. So I decided to take melatonin, and this was around 3:30 in the morning. Well, evidently, and here's another thing. Because my mother tends to get up early, and she is right up, her room is right above me. And they're not they're older. They're not the best of hearing. I have my room set up in a way where I don't, like, I have a sound machine going. I have the room completely closed off. Like, unless you like call me, I'm not, and my phone's on sleep mode. Like, unless you call me, I'm not going to hear anything, literally. And evidently this was tested last night when the paramedics had to be called at 4:30 in the morning because I guess the dizziness got the best of my grandfather. So after that, I wake up after the night that I had to this text message from my mom saying, "Oh, I'm calling 911. Your grandfather's passed out in the bathroom." A text message. I was livid. Let's just say, inevitably, my mother did apologize, because I think it dawned on her, because one of my text messages back, and sometimes I'm sorry, sometimes my Scorpio can come out, but I said, let me put this into perspective for you. The next time you're out and about and I have to call 911 for grandpa, I will text you. And she was very apologetic, but it was one of those things of like, really? Why didn't you, like, yes, we're in the same house. No, I didn't hear you because I have it set up so I can't hear you because you're allowed to make noise in your house. And I don't, waking me up from a dead sleep, do not do. Anybody who knows me, don't wake me up from a dead sleep. Be very kind about it. Kibby doesn't do well just being shaken awake. So I make sure that I don't wake up in a bad mood. And yes, that means that no, I'm not going to hear evidently when ambulance shows up to pick up my grandpa, which I am going to adjust because that is a safety concern. So I'm going to make a change to that to make sure that at least I can hear, like, when the doorbell rings. However, yeah. And then today goes on. I find out about the earthquake in Thailand, and it was one of those things where I'm so exhausted and I've been through so, like, emotionally so much where I'm like just numb at this point. So it was just like, oh, giant earthquake in Thailand. Huh. I'm not surprised. And then and then I received the news around probably, I think it was around 1 or 1:30 that I received the news that my Aunt Mary Jo, my great Aunt Mary Jo, was entered into hospice because she had taken a turn for the worst. And then it was 45 minutes before the stream that I got the news that she had passed. So you're seeing my mood go all over the place because I am trying really hard to yeah, just not let my emotions control me versus acknowledge. I will acknowledge my emotions later, but I'm just going to work for now and distract and go from there. So, on that note, we're going to jump into a little 10-minute sprint here to get ourselves prepped for the stream. I do have work to do. I've actually been busting out. I'm just going to be continuing on my notes for my rewatch project that I need to bust out. And then there was something else I needed to do, but it was something that it had to do with the new project we have in the background that I'm not supposed to mention yet. So that's right. Keep your mouth shut, Kibby. Anyway, so 10-minute sprint on the clock. And I will see you guys in 10 minutes. In 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to mute. And that's the end of that stream. And to add to the days of things, of course, my nail broke. So I was able to get, well, not the whole page done, but I figured out I got the whole page done already and was about to repeat work halfway through that stream. Also, yeah, Amy, thanks. That's all I'm going to say. I turned bright red on stream. I appreciate that. So there's actually not much going on in the world of witchy things when it comes to, well, we've already covered the solar eclipse because that happened last night and into tonight. And well, the energies are lasting already. We already covered the new moon rituals in our last couple of streams. So I thought I would cover something that's a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. And it's kind of on more of the springtime note because we are getting into Beltane, and we are getting into the fun. And I forgot something. I need to go grab it. But we are getting into kind of the springtime, May Day, happy, well, supposed to be happy time energies. So hold on. I had this in my notes, but because of crazy energies, I forgot to grab it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Fae and indoor gardening or anything else, because if you haven't already, it's that time of the year when you should start kind of cultivating your garden and your soil and your plants. And even if you are unable to have an outside garden, there still are ways to have the gardening and the ability to grow your own herbs and everything else at home. So first of all, indoor planting, first of all, a little bit about the book that I recommend to my clients, because next stream on Monday, we are going to go a little bit more into depth about the Fae. But this is the book I recommend. It is by Sky Alexander, and it's the Channel the Magic of the Fairies, and it's your ultimate guide to Fae magic. They've got everything from how to make fairy friends to how to celebrate each one during or for each holiday with changelings, and different how to play music with folk tales. Then they even get into how to use them for tarot card readings, into massage oils, ingredients for spells, how to do wreath work. This book, literally, not magic, working with fairies for healing. This book covers literally so much in regards to the Fae. It's so in depth, and it's one of the few books that I've actually found that this in depth. So I'm actually just going to hold this up to give you a better idea of what you're looking at. And it's one of those books where it doesn't have just one page to the table of contents. There's several. Okay, that's how in-depth this book is. So you're going to see a couple of Sky Alexander's books come up. This is an author, she, I don't know, male or female, is an author that I do trust. Their knowledge is in depth and very universal, and they really do apply a lot of the same techniques, but in different ways, if that makes sense. So for all of you that are going to be celebrating Beltane come the end of April into May, this is a book that I highly recommend that you read in April to get acquainted with, okay? And then the next thing is, I just wanted to go over a couple of qualities, good things that do affect you when it comes to gardening. And then after that, I'm going to probably go over a couple of planetary energies, because I think I'll go over the planetary energies next, simply because we have so many aspects that are also going to be here. And because I'm exhausted, this stream might be a little bit shorter than it normally is, but I think you guys will forgive me for that in the long run. I'm exhausted. If you can't see it in my eyes, I'm tired. And we aren't doing any card readings today, so it's going to be a little bit shorter of a stream. But indoor planting, and this is something I recommend for small witches. So I am actually going to share my screen real quick so that I can show you this. Share screen window. So, no brewing here. Remove. Add to stage. So, these are a couple of herbs that I highly recommend. I am having issues. There we go. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so first of all, this is one of the indoor planting things that I highly recommend. You can buy them on Amazon. This one's $60. I like this one particularly because see this little light back here? This doesn't happen with all of these, and this is something you have to keep an eye on. That light actually extends as the plant grows. So you can shrink it down to the lower level when the plants are there, and then you can move it up as the plants go. I have found in some of these, you end up burning the tops of the plants if it's not a movable lamp at the top of it. So just be aware. And then I always say, if you're going to buy, if you're going to buy it online, might as well buy the seeds. And I recommend a 10-pack kind of like this, because not only are they organic, but every single one of these seeds, the basil, cilantro, oregano, thyme, parsley, lavender, chives, seeds, dill, all can be used in spell work. So we're going to remove that. We're just going to go over some simple things real quick. So indoor planting can improve air quality, reduce stress, improve the sense of well-being, support cognitive health, improve environmental wellness. It can act as naturally as an air purifiers by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. It enhances the air quality of your home, and fresh herbs to cook as well. So indoor plants can offer those are the benefits they can offer. I already went over it, but the ones I highly recommend are lavender, rosemary, bay leaves, and sage. And just because I always encourage, because I'm lucky enough to that I get to take over the gardening of our yard, but I did live in an apartment for quite a long time, and I found that this was actually the best way to be able to grow indoor herbs or have a garden without a yard. So, and another good thing is these can easily be moved. So on sunny days, because at the time I lived in California, I would set it outside on the patio and then let it get natural sunlight. And then on days that I had to go to work or whatever else, I would set the timer and it would have it sun for whenever it needed it. So, and then I had fresh herbs in my kitchen when I wanted to cook. So that's that. Yeah, and I'm just exhausted, you guys. My brain, the cognitive workings of my brain is just, it's not completely there today. So on that note, I'm going to go over the planetary energies because I wanted to go into Rants because I saw my notes on it and my brain just went. So I'm like, okay, no Rants. Brain will not function. So we're not going to make it. And honestly, I'm so proud of my brain functioning as well as it's functioning for the lack of sleep that I'm on, that yeah, I'm not going to complain. So this is just for my students, grab your notebooks or your pads of paper. This is just the overview of the planets real quick, and then after this we're going to do the aspects. And again, for my my two new clients, why I do this is it's not so much about you listening to your horoscope. The horoscopes I do for everybody and for all my friends and, more people that the Authortubers that come to just do the sprints. What I expect of my students is when I do the horoscopes and the planetary the planetary overviews and then the planetary aspects, I want you to take notes on them. And then as I do the horoscopes, I want you to see how these influences are coming in for each sign. And at that time, most of my students do pull up the current chart so that you can see where everything lines up so that you can match from there. But that's for my clients. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. That's for my newest clients. That's why we do this. This is not just for you to get. I do appreciate the fact that you said that getting your horoscope helped, but That's actually why we're doing this, is I'm teaching you how to see the influences of the planetary aspects along with the overall views of the planet to influence each sign. And if you have the chart up in front of you, you can see how the planets are affecting the signs based on where they're positioned in correlation to the planets. So, and then I need to get that app that Stefan Barnes recommended that showed the alignment of the planets, because it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm not going to write it down. I'll remember. And then by the end of the stream, I was like, what was the name of that app? I always do that too. I'm like, no, my brain will retain the information. And then, yeah. Oh, hi, Miss Badger. Hello. How are you, my dear? Oh, interesting. You've come in on a night where I'm not exactly 100% myself. So, but it's good to see you. I can use the good vibes and the good energy. So, hello and welcome. All right, so the planetary energy overviews, and I don't want to be holding a red pen because yeah, we don't need to do red right now. Guys, the amount of Aries influence in our chart right now, us water signs feel like we're getting burned, so just be aware. Yeah. So for sun, we've got our sun in Aries, and guys, I've so for my regular clients, I've changed things up. So listen carefully, because I did some more research and I've added some new things. So pay attention. Just say hi and see your smile. Aw, I'm with the 24-hour period, hun. You're getting a very like forced smile right now. But I mean, yeah, it's if you want to hear, go back to the beginning and listen to like the first 15 minutes. I explained everything that's gone on in the last 24 hours of my life. So yeah, this is a little bit more of like masking. Because I'm a Scorpio and a Scorpio sun and a Pisces moon, when I'm going through the hardest times, a lot of the times I'll carry a smile on my face as a way to push myself through. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been interesting. Solar eclipse energies just kind of kicked my butt. Anyway, actually, no, it kicks the butt of everybody around me. And when you kick the butt of the people that I care about, that are like, don't mess with my inner circle, basically. So yeah. Oh, thank you, girl. No, it's been rough right now. So, but we're all nobody's having it easy. And it's let me get into the planetary overviews, because it's about to explain why none of us are having it easy right now. So Sun in Aries, energies leap forward in growth, opportunities for those who push forward to advance, go-getter type energies, and a focus on individual goals. We've got our moon in Aries as well. Spontaneous and direct energies in communication with underlying spontaneity, courageous and intuitive energies with impetuous emotion. Every time, guys, every time I start with the energy readings, they come in and make me burp. It's so funny. Ability to bring more in. Let me start over for my clients. Moon in Aries, spontaneous and direct energies and communications with underlying spontaneity, courageous and intuitive energies with impetuous emotions, ability to bring more intensity than the situation might warrant. Well, that's great energy for me. Mercury in Aries, and remember, we're in retrograde until the 7th. Mental pursuits break down, best for inner reflections during this time. Don't make any new decisions or start new projects. Extremely active mental energies, expression of thoughts in dynamic ways, and stronger ability to argue. Keen powers of intellect. Venus in Pisces, power to forgive is strengthened since your compassion runs high. Deep need to find a soulmate connection, and love knows no boundaries. And remember, Venus is in retrograde until the 12th as well. So right now we're dealing with 2 planets in retrograde. Okay, guys. Mars in Cancer, a focus on the domestic and emotional security, greater urgency to protect loved ones, and hypersensitivity. Okay. I know my energies are strong and crazy and out of whack, but holy, let's not blow out the internet, okay? Woo! Um, so Jupiter and Gemini, I'm gonna try to rein it in, guys. I really am. I'm gonna try to rein it in because me affecting the electricity and now the Wi-Fi. Yeah, we're gonna pull it back a little bit, see if we can keep myself on stream. Jupiter and Gemini, opportunity for good fortune, stimulation and new experiences. Mental energy is craved with curiosity and wit. Positive time for writing, teaching, and learning. Saturn and Pisces, we've got a pull to reflect on past experiences, oneness within the divine. Subconscious spheres are overwhelmingly present. Uranus and Taurus, we've got sudden changes in finances and values of society. Innovative energies with practical application. Revolutionary progress is considered and achieved. We, on the 30th of March, in 2 days, which we will be shifted, we're shifting next Wednesday, but we're still covering the energies so that we can prepare for it. Neptune is moving into Aries. So we're going to have another planet in Aries. Creates ripples in the collective consciousness and sets up a new generational cycle to work with. Starts to focus on our personal identity away from the collective whole. Pluto in Aquarius is significant changes in humanity that begin with sudden endings. Level of progress will be extraordinary. Social reform with empowering effects. Charon in Aries is the wounded healer. Acknowledgement of concealed traumas and opportunities for growth and deep understanding. So we're going to jump into a 20-minute sprint. And I'm going to let you, my clients, take notes. After that, we are going to go over the planetary aspects and the horoscopes. And we'll see. Well, what do we have lined up? See, normally I would do card readings, guys, but my energy is so out of whack on this that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get a good perspective on card readings. And my brain is not functioning well enough to do rants. I feel so bad that I cannot give you guys the quality of stream that I normally give you, but I'm trying and it's not in me and it's hard. So we're going to jump into a 20-minute sprint on that note, making us all depressed and sad. Stop it, Kibby. Okay. So anyway, good news is we've got some good energy, very, very, very lovey-dovey energy coming up this weekend. However, I call it the Gemini energy because there's going to be like you're going to be doing a back and forth. Like the morning is going to start one way and the evening is going to start another. So on that note, we're going to jump into a 20-minute sprint. When we come back, I'm going to go over the planetary aspects and then the horoscopes. We'll see where my brain is functioning after that. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I will see you guys in 20 minutes in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to So that's the end of that sprint. And the day is continuing, you guys. It is absolutely continuing. Cora, check your text messages because you know when you send a text message that's supposed to go to your friend to the wrong person. It's been a day, you guys. Anyway, so I was able to get quite a bit done on that stream. In regards to my notes, Amy, you asked me about this and why it works so well, and with a how am I going to say this without being demonetized? How do I keep the YouTubian people happy? When using a water pipe, you are covering all 4 elements in one meditation. Earth with, obviously, fire with, obviously, air in the breath you take, and water because of the pipe. So that's why I recommended this book to you, because since you are an avid smoker, you can actually bring in a lot of your ritual work, a lot of your spell work, a lot of your meditation, a lot of your shadow work through your smoking. And it really works for me, especially when I am from everything from like for inducing sleep to motivation, which I just skipped it on, to, magical mixtures to. So that's why I recommended this book to you, because it's for that reason. It's because truthfully, if you're using a water pipe instead of a regular pipe or other forms, you have all 4 elements covered in one sitting, and it brings more balance to the practice, if that makes sense. So, yes. So that should answer your question. Now we're gonna cover the horoscopes, and you guys, I think that's gonna be the end of the stream. My brain obviously just wants to listen to music, and truthfully, it just wants to listen to music and work, and I think I'm just gonna let it. So I'm gonna go over the horoscopes, and then I think I'm gonna call it to the end of the stream. I'm sorry to all of you that this is not my normal stream. I will be better energy on Monday. I promise. I'll have a weekend to kind of recoup. It's just, like I said, if you haven't heard, go back to the first 15 minutes. It's been a rough 24 hours for me. So I'm going to allow my head to do what it needs to do in order to keep going. So for those of you that are new, planetary aspects first. Thank you. I don't know if that was my brain or the angels' answer. At this point, I can't tell who's talking anymore. I'm so tired. We do have to cover planetary aspects. I just did the ones that are the most influential, that I noticed were the most predominant throughout the horoscopes. And there are, if they're for all of them, again, refer to your app. So planetary aspects: Moon conjunct with Neptune. Pleasant escape or withdrawing energies with strong and sudden hunches. Energies to bide one's time with, taking things in and going with the flow. Moon conjunction with Mercury. Expressive, animated communications, strong mental energies with urge to exchange ideas, curious energies in love. That, if you haven't noticed, that is what's strongly influencing me to push forward with the stream, even though I've been going through a lot of stuff. I realized that when I was typing it out, I was like, yep, that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Moon conjunct with Venus, warm, pleasant interactions and feelings, sympathetic, yielding, and imaginative energies in social and interactions. Mercury conjunct with Venus is an agreeable, optimistic, and sociable type energies. Charm and artistry in writing and communications. Pleasure in intellectual stimulations. Right now, it's a really good time for the Authortube community to be busting out writing material. Cora. Venus conjunct with Neptune is artistry, dreamy, easily influenced in the romantic, gentle, sensitive, refined, and some naivety type energies. So there's a very strong naive type romance, intimate energies this weekend, especially on Sundays. For anybody who's new here, this is the way we do it. I start with Aries and I work my way through all the way to the end. I keep Scorpio till the end simply because I am a Scorpio, and if the angels are giving messages, they tend to throw in my personal messages at that time, and then I get all discombobulated, and it works better to keep them at the end. So we're going to cover Saturday and Sundays, Aries energies, Saturdays and Sundays energies. If you want a recap of Thursday and Fridays, I highly recommend going back to my future stream or my in real time, folks, in real time. Okay. Let me start over. If you're interested in hearing about Friday's energies, I highly recommend going back to my past stream, the one that I handled on Wednesday when I cover Thursdays and Fridays energies. On Mondays, I will cover Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Obviously, I'm going to let my brain just die and crap out tomorrow. So, which reminds me, I do have my launch of my video tomorrow at 12:30. Don't forget. So with my Aries babies, on Saturday, we've got reflecting and reviewing type energies with the strong intuitive undertones. Good energies to nudge in the right direction of new beginnings and prospects. Understanding and independent type energies with positive attitudes towards change and to reshape focus. Dynamic and motivating energies to allow for easy expression and self and revelations of the unexpected by the end of day. On Sunday, we've got attuning and resonating energies, especially with ease of the world and ease of the world around you. Idealistic. Okay, what do we mean by that? Attuning and resonating energies, especially with the ease of the world around you. Basically, you're going to be getting a better sense of the world that you're living in versus the world that you're creating on Sunday for my Aries. Idealistic, dreamy, and sensitive energies with practical undertones comes in. Strong spiritual, creative, and imaginative energies by end of day. For my Tauruses on Saturday, we've got recharging, refilling energies come into focus with restful and replenishing energies. Reviewing, recharging, and spiritually charged energies with the need for personal fulfillment. Halfway through the day, you'll have withdrawing and retreating type energies with the ability for shadow work. Attention to the mental and spiritual needs does come in by the end of day. On Sunday, we've got insightful, influential, and intuitive energies with dreamy and rich undertones. Pay attention to signs and omens, especially in the social sector come midday, with pleasantly mysterious and elusive energies with ability to reconnect with helpful undertones by the end of day. You'll also have a little bit of validating energies in that as well. I don't know why I didn't add that, but I do remember that's coming back in as I'm thinking about the meditation. So you have a lot of validating, helpful undertones as well in the connecting energies on Sunday for my Tauruses. Ooh, for my Geminis, it's a lot to connect to you guys when I'm this tired. On Saturday, we've got charismatic and happy energies, especially in the social sector. Rebuilding, reconnecting, and aligning energies with the ability to make changes in the social sector with very dreamy undertones. Collaborating, empowering, and instinctual type energies, especially in the friends and the personal connections department, comes in by end of day. Mysterious and elusive energies come in on Saturday, especially on Sunday, especially in the elusive. My brain, man. I'm sorry, you guys. For my Geminis on Sunday, you've got mysterious and elusive energies in friends and social, allowing for new perspectives in wants and needs. Demanding and boundary-tested energies with a subtle yearning for connections in a group environment. Unusual, spirited, colorful, and unique energies does come in at the end of the day with that causes confusion and idealism amongst your personal circle. So you've got some revelation. This blame Venus retrograde, blame Mercury retrograde, and blame the solar eclipse, Geminis, for you guys having a lot of things that you may not necessarily like being exposed this weekend, simply because boundaries are being tested and energies are being demanded by your friends that they may not be able to match up to. When people That's a better way to put it. You're going to find out which of your friends, Geminis, who can walk the walk and talk the talk this weekend. So use it to your advantage. For my Cancers, you've got on Saturday, you've got reflecting, revising, and reviewing energies on past events with dreamy undertones in business and career, clearing and seeking type energies in new beginnings and manifestations, positive energies in business and goals with strong connections and communication undertones. You've got a superiority that is literally overall in all energies with you, Cancer, so to use it to your advantage on Saturday. Into Sunday, though, you've got restless and confusing with vision-oriented energies, especially in your careers and reputation department. You'll feel a need to reassess the master plan. Mystery and secretive energies and responsibilities and reputations with the ability to gain new perspectives comes in midday. Imaginative and creative energies in professional and public affairs comes in by the end of day for you on Sunday. And for my Leos, we've got impulsive, foggy, and unbalanced energies with confusion in intuition, exploring, expanding, and discovery type energies with a focus on routines and areas of comfort, strong communication and expressive energies with a focus on new beginnings and travel by the end of day. On Sunday, we've got adventurous, discovering, and the willing type energies in new experiences and perspectives with mystical and spiritual, along with philosophical undertones and compassion and mystery by the midday. Confusion, delusionment, and unbalanced energies do come in by the end of day with a strong pull towards the exotic. Be very careful, Leos, when it comes into Sunday and Monday. You are going to have some very toxic energy coming your way. Now, it's not so much of the hide type energy because it won't matter if you hide or not. It's simply a very unbalanced, very confusing, disorienting, overwhelming type energies. Leos, you do well when you're the fire burning, but when the fire is burning all around you, sometimes you can get a bit lost, and that's kind of what's going to happen from Sunday to Monday, okay? For my Virgos, new beginnings in financials and money matters just come in to start on Saturdays with strong, passionate undertones, empowering and forward-moving energies with a need for psychological stimulation, resisting and focused energies on dependencies and long-standing problems comes in by end of day. Virgos, it's going to be the next word I use, but you have a very, very, very challenging energies this weekend, okay? Do your best to mitigate problems without going to the extreme, if that makes sense. On Sunday, you've got challenging and resisting energies in finances and property. Mysterious and intimate energies with colorful undertones in relationships does come in by midday. Unsettling and unsatisfying energies in finances due to other people's influence come with imaginative and spiritual energies on your side of the block towards end of day. If you are married, this is kind of a call out to any Virgos that are married. Watch hubby's spending, because that is evidently where I see a lot of the problems coming in. Okay. So for my Libras, on Saturdays, we've got an enlightened and perspective-oriented energies with a stirring of underlying feelings and emotions. Negotiations, agreements, and commitments do come in with strong positive energies, especially in relationships and partnerships. Reflecting, reviewing, and reassessing energies, especially with strong decision-making undertones, comes in by the end of day. But this is all about new beginnings. They're basically saying that don't let your mind get in your own way today. On Sunday, we've got opportunistic and ambitious energies in partnerships and new beginnings, elusive, uncertain, and confusing energies in close partnerships and behavior. Counseling, helpful, and influential energies does come in with undertones in partnerships and relationships by end of day. Libras, you're just going to have bad mojo in relationships this weekend. Okay. Truthfully, it's kind of one of those, like, my angels show me this. My dad used to pack on Fridays and leave for the weekend and come back on Mondays, especially when my mom was in menopause. My sister and I were both all of us were PMSing and menopause, and he would take to the hills. Libras, that's kind of what they're showing me. If you can on Friday, just pack and leave. It'll be best for your relationship overall. Even if they get mad at you, it won't be as bad as what's going to happen if you stay home. If you can't, walk on eggshells. It's just, you're going to have you're not, Libras, you're not going to come off this weekend the way you want to come off. You're going to, no matter how you try to mitigate your words or navigate your energies, they're just going to be offensive. So be very, very careful this weekend. Okay, Libras? For my Sagittariuses, we've got reinvigorating, restarting, renewing energies that come in with a focus on hobbies, projects, and romance. Sagittariuses, you guys are like love's in the air. So I'm just warning you now, okay? Creative, pursuing, and desire-filled energies in the intimate sector. Celebrating, entertaining, and socializing energies with a strong ability to express your authentic self. Restarting, recreating, and reimagining energies in romance in the intimate sector comes in by end of day. On Sunday, you've got even more romantic and creative energies with colorful undertones. Reassessing, revising, and reviewing energies with a focus on personal needs and relationships comes in. Midday, highly romantically charged energies continue with unattainable and unattachable undertones. Watch for trying to rescue those who need to rescue themselves. Okay. This is one of those times that because Venus is in retrograde and because Mercury is in retrograde, you are being strongly influenced for Sagittarius is by both signs. However, not in a positive way. So you're going to have all the lovey-dovey want to communicate feels, but kind of like Libras, it's not going to come off the way that you want to. And not only that, but we've repeated over and over again, you should never start a relationship during a Venus retrograde. So just be aware of that, my Sagittariuses. You guys don't want to end up at the end of the weekend being butthurt and have it, because we all know our Sagittariuses, though tough on the outside, you guys, yeah, all of our fire signs, you're tough on the outside, but y'all are mush on the inside. However, if you want to talk about hard on the inside, Capricorns. We'll talk about the hard ballers on the inside. Yeah, this is the Capricorns, Earth signs, Virgos. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, on Saturday, we've got processing, releasing, and refreshing energies in the home and family and personal department. Cleaning up and cleaning out is the name of the game. Energies in growth and forward momentum for improvements and needed changes. Reorganizing, reprioritizing, and revisiting energies with a focus on neglected areas in your life by end of day. A lot of forward-pushing cosmic energies for changes and new beginnings overall. Capricorns, if you're not making new changes in your life, I'm going to be shocked. There is no bullheadedness for you right now. Like changes, normally Capricorns hate change. It's like you guys are embracing it like it's your best friend. Okay. Roll with it. For Sunday, we got idealistic, understanding energies and connections and boundaries with the ability to define things with a fine-tooth comb. Free-willing, insolvent, and uncaring energies does come in midday, especially in your personal life, with underlying frustrations as a need for direction comes into focus. Capricorns, if you are single and you are lost and confused in your relationship, Sunday is going to be the day that if you don't get clarity, you're not going to get clarity at all. So use it to your advantage, okay? If you need a day to lay down that boundary line for final time, Sunday is going to be your day. For my Aquariuses, Saturday, you've got a cosmic nudge towards new beginnings and studies, improving and effective energies in communications and connections with a renewing focus and advancement of self, motivating and expressive energies in outdated conditions or restrictions with a focus on special interests and hobbies comes in by the end of day. On Sunday, you've got dreamy yet enlightening energies towards finances and resources, allowing for new perspectives on money and resources. Unbalanced and confusing energies in communications with a focus on the intuitive as a guide. Challenging and problematic energies in practical matters and facts with a focus on changing your perspectives on reliabilities by end of day. So basically, Aquariuses, you're going to be spending the next 2 days completely assessing and readvising and rebalancing all of your finances and resources, and basically completely rebuilding, if you haven't already, or reestablishing that safety net. Okay. For my Pisces, we've got improving and refreshing energies and money and resources with the ability to assess future spending habits with ease. Confident and developing energies and personal changes and building that strong foundation is the name of the game. Curious, discovery-oriented, and attentive energies with a processing and digesting undertones, and the ability to learn from new perspectives comes in by end of day. On Sunday, you've got clarity and epiphany type energies in personal and identity sector. Inattention and careless energies towards financial and insecurities does come in midday. So watch for overspending at lunchtime. Don't go shop. Basically, Pisces, don't go shopping on your lunch break. You're going to regret it. Okay. Inspiring, motivating, and imaginative energies do come in, especially with a focus on work and investments by end of day. For my Scorpios, on Saturday, we've got finishing and finalizing energies and projects with work, breathing in new, with, hold on, guys. There's only, I have limited control when it comes to the flood of messages that just entered my mind. So give me a second so I can get through this. Okay, so let me start over. So for my Scorpios, thank you. I wish this is what I'm going to sound insane, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's cracking me up. And I wish you guys could see what I could see, because literally my grandma was like sitting here, like trying to give me messages, and like I'm having a hard time blocking her out. So it's almost like one of her sisters came in and grabbed her by the shoulders and pulled her back. I'm kind of giggling. Anyway, for my Scorpios on Saturday, we've got finishing and finalizing energies and projects and work, breathing new ideas in life into old routines. You've got a cosmic push with a focus to shift on old commitments and work and projects, motivating, spontaneous, and invigorating energies towards unfinished business with a focus on future stability. Strong decision-making energies do come in by end of day. On Sunday, we've got sensitive and imbalanced energies with a focus on routines and environments, compassionate, understanding, and helpful energies with the ability to stick to routines and schedules comes in midday, with creative, spirited, and releasing type energies with a focus on more satisfaction in our routines in the everyday. So now that I am literally at the end of my brain is like, oh, we can shut down now, right? So on that note, we're going to call it the end of the stream. I'm sorry, it's not the normal link at the stream that we normally give, but I promise Monday I will be back refreshed, renewed, ready to go, and everything else. Thank you to all of you that came in, especially Cora and Kim and everybody that comes in and watches. I do appreciate you guys coming in. To my replay crew, I appreciate you. Go ahead and remember to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to watch more videos, there should be ones coming up at the end of this stream. The subscribe thing and the little video, whatever. So for all of you that have joined me, I appreciate it. And we're going to just go ahead and end it from there. So for everybody who's still with me, go ahead and raise your glass, and may your angels be strong, may your energies be positive, and may karma be ever in your favor. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.